What's going on, Big Blue Nation? Your boy Big Blue Steph back at you with another video. This time, part 2 of the New York Giants 2022-2023 year in review. And as we were exiting, our preseason, the off-season routine, it was time to actually play some real games, some games that counted. And of course, we were coming out, still had a couple injuries. Kayvon, was still on the shelf, that he was hoping he could probably come in, but we weren't going to rush it. We knew we were going to need him for the long haul. And why risk injuring your top 5 pick overall just for one game to start the season? Didn't need to do that. So we start off in Tennessee. And really, that game really became a defining moment in Daboll's coaching career off the top. We had a chance to convert a 4th and 2. It was a decision that Daboll decided he wanted to instill confidence in his group because he had confidence in his group. I don't think he would have done it if he didn't have confidence in the team. What did we do? We convert that 4th and 2. Saquon takes it in for this 2-point conversion, and we come out with the win. I think we were juiced up from earlier in the game when King Henry decided to run up the middle, take Crowder out of nowhere, just blast him, boom! And next thing you know, he's on his arse and just fired up the defense, and we carried that momentum throughout the game, the rest of the game, and almost that's all she wrote. It had a lot of feel good moments. It had some bad ones. DJ threw an interception. He was real late on throwing the pass. It looked like the DJ of the Joe Judge era. And next thing you know, Daboll got in his face, got in his arse. But I think it really woke DJ up. It's like, look, man, we need you to be DJ. We don't need you to be the scared shell of a quarterback that you've been for the last 2 seasons. So next thing you know, here we are. He comes back strong. He's commanding the offense. He's running it. He's passing it. He's getting, everyone in their positions. He's getting rough on, he's talking rough to the receivers if they ain't running the right routes. He is commanding that quarterback position, which he should, and he's doing well. It was good to see. I believe Sterling Shepard got a touchdown in that game, coming back from an ACL tear. That last December, I believe it was, against Dallas. So, hey, it was just good to see a win for the first time out. I think it was 3 seasons, maybe 4, and on opening day. So Giants started off 1-0. And continuing on, the game 2 home opener against Carolina Panthers. To be honest, I didn't even get a chance to see that game. Ironically, I was up in the New York, New Jersey area, but I was at a function, so I couldn't actually watch the game. But it's funny, on the way back home, I was actually listening to, of course, Chris and the Bad Dog, and I was trying to kind of stream a little bit on my phone, and as literally I'm heading back home to Maryland, next thing you know, it was crazy. As they're calling like the last play, and we're in victory formation, and just as that's happening and we're getting that win, I'm driving by MetLife literally at the same time that's happening. Next thing you know, poof, 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 the fireworks, man, the fireworks going off, signifying the victory. And it just, that was picture perfect, man. It felt good to at least be driving by and somehow be part of that game. Considering I didn't get a chance to watch it, I got to see highlights later on. And of course, I wanted to catch that on camera, but couldn't. Had the wife on my right who was sleeping at the time. And, it was a life business decision. I was like, hey, should I wake her up and tell her, catch that on film, so maybe I can use that later on. Or just keep driving and keep my life. And as you see, I'm still here. Hey. But yeah, that game, as I went back and saw, that was definitely a game that we attacked Baker Mayfield. He was still with the Carolina Panthers at the time. He definitely was feeling the pressure. If I could recall, Sexy Dexy was in the backfield a lot, forcing him to be uncomfortable, making passes, throwing passes before he wanted to. And he just, he had a couple, I think one he got to, was it Robbie Anderson? Or was it Moore, DJ Moore, who we actually had an eye on for a little bit apparently. But Yeah, the game was over after I think Julian Love came through with the sack, the corner sack off the right side. I think made him fumble, I believe, too, if I recall. I'm not sure. But yeah, that game, dub number 2. We started off 2-0 for I don't know how long it's been, but hey, we'll take it. Yes, sir, we will definitely take it. So moving on to game 3 of the season, we're like, all right, Dallas, we got something for y'all. We at home. There's another one of these primetime games. Here we are. DJ's gonna prove to y'all that he ain't no slouch. This 0-8 snide that he was on, or whatever it was at the time. Yeah, it's gonna be DJ's game. It's gonna be a Giants game. We owe y'all. Y'all kind of been, riding us pretty hard, and it was a slugfest. We really went out. I mean, I believe that was Kayvon's first game, and he made his presence felt a little bit, but it wasn't strong enough. But that game, you watch that game, and for me personally, this was the game where I said Daniel Jones is the man for us. The numbers weren't all that glitzy and glamour. He ain't throw no 400 yards passing and 100 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, blah, blah, blah. But the way you saw him move in that pocket, it just made me proud. He was avoiding the rush. Of course, Michael Parsons, what's his name, DeMarcus Lawrence was in the backfield. He was evading the rush. He was stepping up the pocket. He was making throws. And of course, we had a chance to definitely, be right there. And what happens in typical Giants fashion, here comes another mistake. We started thinking, oh, here we go again. We had a chance. David Stills, I believe, dropped the pass, or it was tipped for interception. Whatever it was, the game was over. And on that same play, I believe, Sterling Shepard popped his Achilles out the rest of the season. That was hard to see. It's like this dude just came back from an ACL, now he's getting an Achilles. It was just terrible, man. And he was actually having a decent game, I believe. So that was rough to see. Wasn't really easy to stomach. But coming out of that game, you definitely knew DJ had definitely grown. He definitely had showed you, like, look, I'm maturing as a quarterback, and if y'all give me some true help, who knows what the sky could bring you. The sky is the limit, really, with him. So it was good to see him moving. I think we lost 21-16. Of course, our Achilles heel is, pass defense. Well, actually, it was run defense and pass defense all season. But CeeDee Lamb, he made amends for a drop pass earlier in that game, came with a touchdown. It was just one big mess for us. But it was very positive to see Daniel Jones show that growth. Even though he didn't get the win, and even though we didn't get the win, it dropped us down to 2-1. But it was definitely something where we're like, okay, we could work with this. We definitely could work with this. And give us a little bit more hope for our next game against Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, yeah, so that game, another game for us at home. I do believe it was at home. Yeah, that game was a little weird for us. We felt we were the better team. Justin Fields is still trying to figure out if he's a starting quarterback or not. Or I guess the Bears are trying to figure out as they're going through, culture change as well with the new GM. I believe a new coach as well. But hey, we kind of took it to him. I think the final score was 20-12. It probably could have been better, but we had a couple injury scares. Daniel Jones, he was kind of, I think we started using Daniel Jones' legs a little bit more. He's running a little bit more, injures his ankle, so he's out for a little bit during the game. Next thing you know, Tyrod Taylor comes in, and like Tyrod Taylor normally does, gets injured within a drive or two of him getting in. So next thing you know, what do? We turn to Saquon as our emergency quarterback, running a Wildcat. 3-back lineups, 2-back lineup, him, just dictating how the ball is going to be run. It's him. Is he going to pull it and run? Is he going to pass it off to Breida? I think Brightwell was in there in a couple of drives. I mean, it looked good. It sustained us. I think it was an awesome job of coaching between Dayball and Kafka. They did an awesome job of really just keeping things together, because we could have fell apart real quick there. And I do believe towards the end of that game, they did bring Daniel Jones, even though he could barely walk. But all they did is make sure he could hand off the ball, because it was getting a little bit dicey. But we did just enough to get that win. And next thing you know, hey, end of the game, 2012, Giants win. First quarter of the season is over, and we are 3-1, way ahead of what people thought we could be. A lot of people had us winning maybe 4 wins on the season. I forgot to post it earlier, but yeah, I had a early off-season kind of like projection. I had us going 10-7. So to get to 3-1 to start off, I was like, hey, I'm looking pretty good. But anyway, I'll catch you guys on part 3 of the Giants 2022-2023 season in review. Thank you guys for checking this out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this out.